Hello YouTube and welcome to my next Blender modeling tutorial. And now we're gonna keep making this car. And I noticed that making all of the interior parts, interior of roof, doors, and filling missing gaps, it would take a long time. So I decided to split the interior into few more tutorials. So interior will take around 7 instead of 5 tutorials. I have placed a link in the description to this view. It's BMW M3 Coupe. No, it's not M3, it's BMW 3 Series Coupe. But well, after taking a look at comparison images and some stuff like that, I have noticed that it's basically the same. This car has a bit different mirrors, indeed. Maybe a little different seats, and on the rear, the shapes are a bit different. Maybe color scheme has a bit differences as well, but basically it's the same. So I'm gonna copy and paste this in another link, and here I'm gonna open up Cockpit. Well, yeah, the exterior of this car is way different, in my opinion. Although not that different, but yeah, it's different though. So this wouldn't be a good reference because it's kind of not the same. But the interior is basically the same for the both of those cars. If you take a look, it has most of the details the same. When I took a look at door, it's just the same door. So we can use this, and it's good that we can have a 3D, maybe not 3D, but 360 degrees, 360 degrees view of it. So what we are gonna do first, before we get into modeling something, well, we must now work on the interior again. First off, I'm gonna move doors, wings, hoods, roofs, windows, wings, doors, wings, all that stuff to the layer 2. Also, windshield, bumper, hood, or trunk, I don't know what to call it. Right, and also this bumper. Leave it like this. The first thing that I noticed is that in my case, I have no idea about you, but in my case, I need to select those vertices and drag them in a bit. And now, if I take a look at it, well, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna undo all. It seems to be hard to understand. I'm gonna move all back. But previously I noticed when making doors, yeah, here's the problem. It can't be this close to door. So I'm gonna go in wireframe and select all of these vertices here, including this one. And then go back in material, drag them in like this, and maybe scale them down on X-axis, something like that. Well, yeah, rotate around Y a bit, drag out slightly a bit more. Okay, and drag this in like that, because otherwise you wouldn't have space for the door here. So, because the door is kind of wider than I expected at the beginning. Well, yeah, we can immediately do second thing, and it's kind of simple. I'm gonna go in orthographic top view, select all of this and press E to extrude and fill in here with triangle. What I'm gonna do now is set cursor to this point and move vertex to there, then cursor here, again vertex there, cursor here, a vertex there, cursor here, a vertex there, cursor here, vertex there, then cursor here, and the knife cut to here, and then this vertex to cursor, and also cursor here, quick knife cut here, and vertex there. Great, we have filled in one part, and now we don't have any type. I think that we have no holes on the car, so the surrounding hole is working well. All the what's left is normal maps and correct interior, so we must finish up the interior geometry. Great. What we're gonna do now is grab the stuff and move to the layer 2 as we usually do. So grab all of that. No, not the roof and not the doors. Grab all of the stuff that we won't use. We'll use the base, the interior, the doors, and the roof. No, we won't need base, I think so. Yeah, I don't see any use of it in this case. So we're gonna use these parts now. It's like all of the interior related stuff separated. It looks like a broken car in this case. Okay, so first thing that I'm gonna do is go in here and recheck that if my rear part geometry is correct. So I'm gonna go in the 360 view and take a look at it, and we can't see anything here that much. We don't need the rear that much. What I can tell you is that I have already found my mistake. I'm gonna select all of these vertices here. So yeah, I'll select them like that, and drag them in a bit to make it rounder a bit. Hope that I didn't split it there, and I did split it there. Well, yeah, okay, I'll leave it. Nothing to worry about. The rear isn't our worrying place. I'll need to add those things there later because I noticed that they exist there, which is kind of a problem, but not that much. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna model the interior of roof. Oh, door. And why do I have other parts here yet? Is because I need to make sure that the geometry fits the basic geometry, so that there's nothing that doesn't suit well, and after we do that we can move everything else to layer 2. So far actually we won't need roof for the door. It's gonna just make some problems for us, so we can remove it. Let's get into modeling. So first thing for the door, which is gonna be the only subject for today left, we're gonna also look for some more references actually, with some closer looks at it. Wherever we can see the door well, it's gonna be a good reference. Well, yeah, here you can see it's BMW M3 Coupe interior. If you take a look at door and compare it to that door, I can basically see no difference between them, which is great, and due to that we have a nice 3D view of it. And if you take a look at the panel, it's also all the same, and that is really awesome because we can use the 3 series Coupe interior as a reference Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Okay, so I am now looking for a good reference where I can see closely the part of the mirror. Okay, this is not the interior we're looking for. Um, yes, this is what seems to be good. So you can see that how the mirror part of the door looks. And what I'm gonna do now is create this kind of panel, and I want to look it like there in the references, make it look separate from everything. It's kind of hard to make stuff in here. First off, I recommend you turn on orthographic, which for me usually is really hard and complex to use, but sometimes it helps a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna, or actually I don't need any reference there, because in this image I can see it here. So, well, yeah, I need to make this kind of extruded part now, and it's not supposed to be complex. Well, I'm gonna extrude from here down a bit. Yeah, the problem is that you can never see in I haven't found any useful references in case where of usefulness where I can see that point. I don't know why, but I don't see any of them with that point visible, but we don't need to worry about it that much, because, well, we're not gonna kind of use it. So I have extruded here, and I'll leave it like that, or no, I'll select all of geometry here. Okay, I don't know how to select it correctly. I need to select edges that belongs to the bottom part of it, and I have no idea how to select them. One idea is make sure that I select one of them, extrude a bit. Go ahead, select for another of them, extrude. And now okay, this is wrong. No, not fill, grab. And how do I select the right vertex here? No idea. It's just not selecting there. Okay, now I got it. And once you have managed to select them correctly, you can fill in, and yeah, then go on this vertex here. So again, make sure you select it, and then check if you can select both of them correctly and fill them in. Now I'm gonna keep this up to the end, and while that I'm doing that, I'm gonna pause. Okay, I have gotten to the end here. So, well, this is sort of problem here, because we have this wasted vertex here. I'm gonna kind of dissolve it, and yeah, it still looks, it's kind of now fixed, and this is the last thing that I fill. Okay, let's hope it will look fine. It's supposed to be that way. Okay, now we can actually, I'm gonna delete these two vertices, because here we're gonna work differently. First thing that I'm gonna do now is select those vertices. Whoa, sorry. I'm gonna actually move rest of things to layer 2 for now. We'll need them later. I'm gonna drag them out a bit. Press S, Y0, no, Z0 and SX0. And then I'm gonna drag them out a bit more. Drag down a bit. In this view you can see that we need to rotate them a bit. But once we take a look at these references, you can see the way that the shape acts there, and it's kind of like this. Of course it has a bit of curves. We'll take care of it later. And here we can also rotate it a bit like that, because it's also kind of outwards in that side. So now in this view we can kind of adjust them to get a curve look a bit more. Okay, and here it's almost maxed out on the top. If I go in orthographic and better adjust them, they don't need to be so low, so you can drag them up a bit. Okay, and it's hard to tell about this side. If I take kind of look, it's not too much extruded, and in our case it kind of looks correct. So now we can go in side view again and do a few extrusions from here up, because we want to create that point of the mirror there. So you just take and make sure you, well, sorry, not fill but grab, you select the mirror part of it, fill it in like this, then here this vertex, grab that one after that. Oh no, you need to grab this vertex, and in there you must make sure that you have it kind of selected like this, and you press fill. But at this point you'll need to remove doubles like that, so, and well, now you need to keep sure that those where mesh edges are, oh no, not yet, no worries, everything is well exposed there. Great. Now you can keep tracking them here and filling in. So again, make sure to select this vertex inside it and fill with this vertex to make any edge there. Well, not grab it, fill. I'm kind of pressing opposite for some reason. And then kind of select like that to make sure you have a full frame there selected, and then fill in again. And what you can do already now is grab those vertices and drag them in a bit, because it's kind of not straight there, it's a bit facing inwards. Hard to see actually, but it is like that. Now I'm gonna extrude this again. Again, make sure to select that vertex and fill them in. Then make sure to select this inner vertex, and again fill in the frame here. Of course you can drag this out a bit, because it's kind of not straight upwards there, it's a bit not striped. Yeah. Okay, and now you should select these 3 points and connect them with triangle. What we can do now is get into modeling that short part there. So we just take this vertex, go in the side view, and extrude it to the end here actually. So what we do with it now is we go in top view and extrude it out in this direction. So we can now extrude from this vertex here and fill this. Well, you need to drag this up a bit and in a bit because it's a really small piece there. And now what you can do is select this vertex here and keep extruding it through the side of the door like this, so, and fill with faces. And actually you can now make sure that this is the bottom part of the geometry and drag this up so that we can use this for shape adjustments. And here you extrude it up, fill in, of course drag this out a bit, this down a bit, like that. And it seems that I need to drag those vertices in minimally, and this vertex a bit more on this part. Kind of this way. And for those vertices here, I'm gonna drag them out a bit. Kind of that way. I think it's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna keep making here. Extrude this again and fill here. Again drag out. Like that. Actually I'm gonna select all these vertices there and drag out a bit. Again extrude, fill, and drag out a bit. And one more extrusion here, or no, you just select this vertex, hold down shift to select that vertex and this vertex and fill in. You have this finished section of it. You can adjust it here a bit to make sure that it looks more constant and good looking. And we have created this top part until this line, all the part there. What we can do now is make sure to select all of those edges here and do mesh, edges, edge split, just to make sure that it's looking sharp there. Did we select the right ones? No. Select this edge. Here, select this edge. Again, edge split. This edge here, and edge split again. And here, this edge, and again, edge split. Of course, do the same here as well. selection. And split here. And here. And here. And we have kind of finished the top part of it. I'm gonna now assign my predefined test materials here to make sure that it looks as supposed. If you have already created 4 materials, we're gonna use 4 materials: glass, paint, interior, and metal. I'm not kind of sure if the metal material will be used. Maybe we can merge it into interior material, but for now I'm using it for tests like this mirror or the edge around the door there. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna keep modeling it, and we're gonna make this finishing part of it, the downer part of it. And I'm gonna double check how high is it. We have made it a bit too low, so you can drag those vertices up and adjust them a bit, and yeah, so drag them up like that, adjust a bit. And if you now take a look at them here, you can see that you could drag them, some of them, in a bit, because we move them up. Well, it's really hard to understand at this point without any orthographic references here. So we have only image reference, which is not good. But we don't have any other options here. Now you can grab all of those vertices here and press E to extrude. Press SZ0 and SX0 to make sure that it's a straight line for now. And now in this view you can sort of adjust it a bit, because as you can see it's kind of not straight line there. It's kind of curved, actually, like this. Actually, those vertices should be adjusted as well to look like a curve. And also drag those vertices here outside of it. And now, of course, you kind of adjust them here, and basically you make them kind of straight there, maybe even a bit facing inwards into doors. I don't know how it would look better. Kind of make them straight. And you can fill here already. I think that we need to fill it here as well. So you take those 4 vertices and press F to fill, and here 4 vertices, F to fill. Dry this up a bit to prevent artifacts, and I'm gonna assign my material here, and it's kind of filled here. Of course you will later need to split it here like this on, so I'm gonna already split it here for test, and of course split those edges. And it's kind of looking like this. And the same for the other side. So you select these vertices and fill in here. Well, this part. make sure you select correct pieces where it's edge splitted, and fill in here, fill in here, and you can kind of keep filling through here until the end part here. Okay, the last two fills didn't look good. I'm gonna fill it differently there later. For now I'm gonna leave it like this. And of course, again, select these edges here and split them there. For some reason it's not smooth. Okay, and currently I'm gonna work it with edge splits already. I don't know why, but I think that kind of helps to understand geometry, and that's why I'm gonna split it already. Probably split there, not yet. And yeah, we have done this part of it. Well, and it's kind of normal looking. If I add in second layer, let's see if it matches well with the interior part, and it seems to have no problems with interaction with it. So yeah, and I just noticed that, okay, no, that's not the case now. All is fine. So I can actually grab those vertices here. Oh, and a knife cut here, if it's possible. Okay, it doesn't seem to be possible. Well, now we need to keep doing stuff downwards, so we need to make this part until here now. So let's get in modeling. Now we're gonna make this part as I told you already, and it's not supposed to be complex thing. Yeah, it's kind of simple. At least it's meant to be simple. Select those vertices, and you'll need first extrusion to here, not deeper than there. And it's, when we take a careful look, well, really hard to tell how deep is it. I think that we must first drag these down a bit. Just a bit. Or not. I'll leave them like that. Well, this extrusion goes around this low, and you've gotta make it face inwards a bit. And what else you do, start making it shape. And at this point it's almost straight, so you do SZ0 for now. Rotate it like this, drag it up a bit, and do a few adjustments to make it not that straight yet, or not that straight anymore. Well, which of the cases is this? Okay, I don't know. And I'm gonna press SX0 and then rotate around the Z-axis a bit. Kind of gain the correct appearance, as well as around, well, not extrude. Rotate around this axis a bit. Okay, nice. Now we have it done this far. Well, I don't see much things that you could do with this, except for, well, I don't see anything exciting about this. You can just fill those tips here. Well, make sure you select the right vertices. So basically this one. And yeah, like have this cage here. And fill it in. And now what you want to do is make sure to edge split here. And now you have it acting great. And you are gonna also want edge split here. Now, and of course, same thing here, but here you are gonna fill in it like this. Hope that okay, I didn't select it right, like that. Make sure that on this part, whoa, sorry, you have selected not the outer vertex but the inner vertex for a fill. And here you are gonna want to do simple knife cut from here to this edge, and then what's wrong with oh, I pressed window key, the super key instead of alt, and merge this at that point. Great. Well, of course you wanna edge split those two now. As well as edge split here. And we're gonna also edge split this part. Great. The door is now kind of approaching our target, but it's still kind of far because we have a lot of things to do. Fortunately, I have scaled down today's tutorial and it's gonna be only about the door. Otherwise it would be hours long. Okay. So again, if we take a look at the reference, we need to extrude it down again around the same scale as we have done it already. So you select those vertices around here, all of them, and just extrude down. This could be moved this way, of course, and well, yeah, it's kind of what we need. Of course, I'm gonna select them, pull them in a bit, like that. And if I take a careful look, I need to kind of make this type of curve shape here. So kind of make it match the reference, you can see, as much as possible. Well, this looks correct, I think. Yeah, I could still improve it, but not much. There's not much to do with it. It's really hard without some 100% sure references. Make sure you select this vertex, then hold down shift and select them like this. Again, make a knife cut here, and again merge this at the second one. Good. And on the other side, we can actually just fill in this like that. And of course, again, edge splits. Edge split here, two edge splits here. Edge split here. We need to split this, but not yet. We're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna split here. Kind of getting closer to what we need. What we're gonna do now is create the handles, not the handles, the tools. Yeah, the handle. It is handle. Yeah. It's kind of. It starts. Where can I see it better? If we take a look, the mirror ends or starts around there, and then goes like this unit, two of those units. So basically, it's gonna be around there. I think around here. I don't know how to measure, but approximation will work. We can work it out from here. So I'm gonna firstly make an edge split of that shape. Like this. Yeah, it's sort of the same. And now, of course, you know the usual stuff. But I need to make sure to grab those vertices and gz.001. No, gz.01, like this. Make sure that I can access right vertices. Like that, so. And now, you just knife cut them here. Like this. And of course here. And then I'm gonna select those and press GZ -.01. Great. We have this shape here now, and what we're gonna do is grab those both and press E scale. Scale down, maybe even more, and drag it out. And press S Y0 and SX0 only. Then go in this view, rotate like this, and also rotate around Z axis. What I'm gonna do now is press E again to extrude and make it extrude inwards and scale it down like this. Yeah, it's sort of looking good. And for the handle, I'm gonna, oh yeah, firstly you need to cut it a bit. This should be enough. And drag this in, drag it around there. Then I'm gonna select this, set, and just press Shift D to duplicate and move axis to make sure it's located here. Now I can kind of adjust it again as X0 and rotate around the y-axis to make sure that it's, you know, good aligned with it. And now I can just align those vertices there like they seem to be needed to be aligned. So here it's kind of going upwards and starts going upward around there. Of course you want to make it a bit higher poly count, so what you do is you add a loop cut here and make it around there a bit, as well as loop cut here. Whoa, okay, like that, this. Great. Now for the top part of vertices, I'm gonna select them and drag them in like this. And for the rest of vertices, I'm gonna also drag them in a bit, not that much. Those vertices can go even deeper, like this. And in my case, I have metal material here, so I'm gonna assign it to them. And now let's get into edge splits. We need to edge split here, here, like this. Great, we have the kind of handle here, which is already a good sign because we are approaching the finished state of it. In material mode you can see how it looks like, and if I append the second layer, and if I compare it there, it's looking fine. If we detach door, of course we'll need to fill in that part, but currently it's kind of seems to act right, and the height of it compared to the chair is also kind of correct. So now what we're gonna do is make that round thing. I think that it's speaker of sound. It's kind of round thing here, a circle here. What I'm gonna do is kind of make a circular knife cut here, like this. Yeah, I'm using ABJ, and for some reason my build has no add-ons in it. So I'll need to open and tap in default Blender for a moment. I don't want to do it, but I don't have any choice. So I'm gonna make those cuts, and I'm gonna save this as backup file. So I'm gonna call a file with prefix after it to make sure that it's kind of backup. Now I'm gonna close this, open up. No, this is my OBJ. I'm gonna open and tap in default Blender. If you are using default Blender, of course you will not care about this case, but I use AppBJ, so I need to open tap in default Blender. So it's, yeah, okay. I'm gonna open default Blender. Open this up. Select these vertices here. We loop tools circle. And what is loop tools is it's add-on. I think that it's built in Blender. And of course I'm gonna knife cut here, knife cut here. Well, it's built in add-on, so you can access it on add-on tabs and enable it. And it's really good for some things, because you can see in this example we created circle pretty simply. I'm gonna make it triangle fan type of circle. Okay, so I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna open up back in ABJ. Great, we have the circle here now, as you can see, and it really looks circular. What I'm gonna do with it is now select it, extrude and scale. Then I'm gonna drag it. Oh no, yeah, I'm gonna select them, extrude outwards like this, and scale down. And we have our speaker down. Now I'm gonna edge split it as well. And I can drag this single vertex a bit out. Okay, we have the speaker and handle. What else do we got here? We have the edge split in the middle, kind of matching the line. We have now removed the line here, which is bad sign. And the case where I can see it restored is I'm gonna cut it here like this, and as this is separate and edge split, it's not creating a vertex for this speaker, so we don't have to worry about it there anymore. We can now grab those edges here all through and press mesh, or no, I have a better idea. I'm gonna make that geometry there. So I'm gonna take a knife, or maybe loop it would work out better. Yeah, so I'm gonna loop it here like this. Merge this vertex at the second one like that. So oh no, okay, I'm getting better. Knife cut actually. So take my knife and cut through it like this. Great. I'm gonna scale this down on Z axis. And also cut here and here as well. And what I'm gonna do with this cat, or with this cat, is add another cat in middle of this cut. Well, it's not working well. GY.01 should work. Now cut G1 minus .01 and drag this here. For this vertex, what you can do is pull it in. Okay, I just remembered. We don't need to do this all stuff. Sorry for this waste part. I'm gonna just put them away. I'm gonna actually make it all in normal modes. I thought, yeah, it would be better to save some geometry. So this far we have some sort of door, of course, as supposed. Well, yeah, we need to do some edge splits here. I just noticed. I thought that we split it there, but apparently not. So we have the door, of course. We have half of interior of it finished. So what we're gonna do now is make that part, which is kind of outwards extruded. Oh, here we can compare the panels actually. This panel should already, and it does, as you can see, this part goes under the panel, which is great. Now we can select those vertices here, as we do all the time. Extrude, but this time extrude them down just a bit. Instead, take them a lot sideways on the top view. And of course, here the end part, as you can see, it's kind of scratching down a bit. Like that, this. Great. And it's not, it's kind of making a different, straighter shape here. Even more like curvy outwards. Of course, this vertex should go in and you can grab them up a bit even. Because they are not like down extruded much. This sort of works. So what we're gonna do with them is again fill in this part. So again, make sure to select this and fill this in. Same here. We have that shape here. Now And what we can do with it is, of course, make the handle now, because we have space for it. Have prepared it for the handle. So it's a bit more complex thing to make. We're not gonna make it yet, actually, because the other door doesn't have it. We're not gonna make anything that the doors doesn't share, because we are currently making what's symmetrical. Of course, you can see here the speaker is a bit smaller than the right side. We're gonna skip that part, actually. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the camera projection. Yeah, it's not smaller, actually. It looks bigger, and due to lens distortion a bit. Because around the edges, lens make everything bigger. Yeah, that's the case. So this is how it will act. We're not getting my handle yet because it's not symmetrical for and shade between both doors. So we can just keep making it. So extrude down it a bit to make that light line. Oh yeah, and make sure that it's making that curve shape here. So I'm gonna select those vertices down again and extrude them directly downwards. I'm gonna scale them down on x-axis a bit. Drag in. We have created that extrusion, which is kind of final point of the constant door shape system. So now we're getting into some holes there. Again, you know how to do this. Need to select right vertices and kind of fill them in. Now we're gonna do a few more edge splits. I'm gonna double check all of this edge. As well as edge split here, edge split system here. The doors are mostly edge splitted, actually, as you can see. Kind of. Well, this tutorial is getting pretty long. I don't like that fact. I don't see any solution for this. If I compare it now, it kind of fits in well in there. Yeah, and it's working. We're getting better looking interior, actually. Yeah, it still will need the roof part, but yeah. And now there is only one thing left with the door, is the bottom part. It's not high. It's not required with high geometry. We can just extrude it down, as we all do all the time. I'm gonna extrude it down to the bottom. Now I'm gonna place those vertices like they're supposed to be, but here I'm gonna make it rounder, because it kind of acts like that there. The inside of door makes rounder shape there. So you adjust those vertices there, and what I'm gonna do here is actually, yeah, I'm gonna loop it here. Try this up. And now what I can do, select those edges, faces here, and pull them in a bit. Scale them down on x-axis. Rotate around y-axis a bit. Rotate around z-axis. And pull them in, like this. This will kind of make the way that we want the shape to act. And make them extruded just a bit. Like that, so. Okay. Now we can firstly start with fill in some basic parts here, like that. So you just fill, um, yeah, fill, and do a lot of fills here. Because we're getting finished with the geometry of the door. Well, yeah, we have filled it in. And for the holes, they're kind of thing that this all panel, we can do it in normal maps. I don't see any reason why would I model it for my game. So I'll leave it as it is for now. And of course, I'm gonna do the rest of edge splits to make sure that the door looks fine split. And also here, double check all to make sure that there are no missing sorts of pieces. Okay, I'm gonna assign interior material here where it is set to paint for some reason. And yeah, we have finished the basic symmetrically shared part of the door interior. If I assign a second layer to it, you can see it sort of fits in well. No any conflict errors there. Yeah, it's sort of looking good. Now I can delete this door. Do the stuff we do often, like Shift D S X -1. Then call this door L, referring for left door. Go in Control E scale, then mesh normals, flip normals. We have done our doors. Of course, yeah, the left side will require the button there and the little hole extrusion here and the button there. The right side will require handle, but we'll do it in the tutorial when we're gonna make the interior non-symmetrical. Then we're gonna make steer and stuff like that, and then we're gonna do that. But for this time, it's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, don't forget to leave a like, and see you in the next tutorial. Yeah, thank you.